Chafing Armor Podcast, Episode 50, Cool Hand Duke. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host and lovable Dungeon Master, Michael Corley, and with me tonight is James. James, tell everyone who you are playing.
Well, hello-de-doody-doo. I'm playing Penton Chalice, a spell-scale sorcerer of growing renown.
Indeed, growing by leaps and chicken-footed bounds. And also with us tonight is Dare. Dare, tell everyone who you are playing.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. I am Dare, and I am playing Tix Burchinson, your cuddly, lovable cleric gnome.
Indeed, and both Penton and Tix have had some recent adventures where they discovered new things about their hut, and it's, shall we say, somewhat bloodthirsty nature, but it's also helpfulness. So we'll have to
Audrey
see.
3.
And also now canonically named Audrey 3.
Oh, man.
We had quite a little adventure where a big storm came in, and out of that storm came a huge rock, which split open. And out of it came an old elf woman and 4 imps that then proceeded to try to murder both of you. But because of good management and good axe work and stick work and chicken feet, you were victorious when leading the elderly woman into the hut. Penton, you recognized her as the Witch of the Lowlands. And years ago, when you were the Kingdom of Beltrain, you and the Princess Alviana, along with a huge cohort of adventurers and great knights of the realm, went on a quest to retrieve the staff of Seraphim, and you were successful. She did not have the staff herself, but she did have the information on where to find it. You were also told that she would be the one to tell you how to mend the broken staff. But apparently you don't need that because the staff has been reformed, apparently. But now you are facing her face to face, and she says, "Oh, I know you! You're the scaly one!" And she runs over and just kind of pats you on the cheek.
Yeah, that's me. Oh, we've been looking for you. Or at least we've been trying to look for you.
Well, you're doing a great job, because I've come right in here and found you.
I'm curious to know how you travel by giant rock.
Oh, well, that was a tale and a half. You would be surprised. Just recently, everyone's been trying to kill me. And I had to leave the lowlands and had to go on a bit of a sojourn, shall we say. And just about everything has been pooping up, trying to do me in, which I'm not afraid to tell you, I don't really appreciate.
I imagine not.
Well, I was up on a mountain top when upsy daisy come about, I don't know, 400 or 500 demons. And, it was probably 4 or 5 dozen demons come in to get me, and they do some kind of enchantment to, I don't know, boil me alive. So, basic demon-y type things. And I cast a counter spell at the same time and tried to teleport away. And, things went a bit pear-shaped, shall we say. And I ended up riding that wee little comet, and I was trying to find some kind of aid, and it ends up taking me hair, which I assume it was trying to take me to you, but I'm not really sure. By the way, when you met her last, she was a little crazy.
I don't think that's changed much.
No. This behavior is not inconsistent with what you saw before. Just saying. Just letting you know.
Do I recall whether the Witch of the Lowlands has a name?
She does. You never heard it.
I'm starting to guess it might be Mrs. Doubtfire.
If you're judging by wildly inconsistent accents, then yes, he definitely is.
All right. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Well, I guess you found us. Here we are, and welcome to our humble vampiric chicken hut.
Oh, she looks around at just the horrible mess. Fortunately, it's no longer bloodstained, but there's a recovering elf woman down below, and there's just the mess of years of hag living. And she goes, "I love what you've done with the place."
Yeah. I like to think there's like one like circular clean spot over by the wall where the blood was cleaned away, and that's it.
Yeah. I think you're probably right, and it's just kind of like you just kind of pushed everything, and like maybe the treasure chest is over there, like kind of making a boundary, and yeah, everything else is just horrifying.
Yeah. Thanks. Say, we've been trying to get the staff of Seraphim to you. It turns out we found it.
Oh, well, good job. So, how did the ceremony go? Were you able to stop Set from re-entering our reality and destroying all things? You must be, because otherwise we'd all be dead now.
Yeah, well, it seems like there was a bit of a snafu. The staff was kind of broken in half for a while. I think maybe on purpose. We kind of found it. We found half of it at the time. And there was a message from the princess, basically saying, I don't know where I am, and the staff is broken, and I'm relying on you to fix it, and everything was going to hell, and literally there were undead walking around that were there were just gooey, ooey undead everywhere.
Yeah, those were slimy.
Yeah, and then they still keep popping up. I think they might be, I'm guessing, kind of extensions of Set's power kind of leaking through the opening. I can't be sure because we haven't been there. But then the other staff, half of the staff kind of got found, and then it kind of got stolen by a hag, and the hag tried to fix it. It's whole, but I don't know if it's fixed, because she was trying to use it to kill and turn it into undead a kraken, so she could kind of, like, I don't know, take over the world or whatever. Luckily it didn't work. So, and that's how we got this vampiric chicken hut. And so now we have the staff and a hut, and here we are, and I'm afraid to touch the staff because I don't know if it's actually working.
Oh, well, I thought I was the one who had been having adventures. And she says, would it be possible to take a little peek at it and kind of see what's the what?
Oh, yes. I have it over here on a thing. And I take it off the wall where I'd hung it up, where it's still all wrapped up in cloth.
Yes.
And hand it to her, still in cloths.
Her is going to try and sense her motives.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll.
That is a 4.
Kind of hard to read. She's very erratic. With a 14, you're not really sure what's. You've never met this woman before, and she's highly eccentric. You by the way, Penton, you get the sense that she makes this little like dancing finger gesture when she says take a peek at it, like she doesn't want to touch it. She does say take a peek at it, but you're not quite sure if she does mean to grab hold of it, but she doesn't seem to want to grab it.
Okay. Well, that's a good sign. That means she has some sense still in her head. Yeah, so, okay, well, then in that case, she doesn't seem to want to handle it. I'll set it down. There's tables in there, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's a couple of, like, really shabby tables. There wasn't an actual bed. It was kind of like a disgusting pallet. That probably even y'all got rid of because it just smelled so bad.
Yeah. So I'll set it down on the table and unwrap it enough to be able to expose especially where the broken area was, so she can kind of glimpse it.
Okay. She kind of leans in and she points, but she doesn't touch. Just kind of does like that little dancing thing that you do with your hand when you're gesturing towards something. What? Look at these little filaments or little thread. This is made from pure magic. This is the actual residuum that is created when you're making a magical item. This is what this thread is made from. Whoever was trying to rejoin the staff, they used this. And what's very strange is, I think that should have worked. That at the very least, they should have been able to access the staff's power, but for some reason it did not, from what you said.
Well, I think the hag was able to use it some, but it certainly wasn't like, earth-shattering magic or anything like that.
Oh, yes. If she had been able to fully access the staff's power, you would be a bloody stain on the ground.
Thanks.
Well, it's nothing personal,
Oh,
Dad.
I know.
It's just... Here is the thing, is the staff is a magical item of incredible power, but it's meant for one specific thing. It's meant to stop Set from coming into this world any time he tries, which is essentially once every, 1,000 or 5,000 years, I forget. But, when it was broken, the staff's power became wild, unpredictable. Anyone, potentially, could use its power. Do you have any other notion why this staff is not doing what it's supposed to be doing?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say maybe the princess did something to do it to keep people from using it incorrectly until it could get fixed properly. I don't know. It's just a guess.
When the staff is whole in its full capacity, only one of the royal blood of Beltrain can use the staff truly, which is why she came with you and safely wielded the staff. But with it broken, anyone could potentially use it. But maybe she did put some kind of whammy on it at the last moment. I honestly don't know. I'd have to study it for a while. I'd have to look and see. I'd have to really get to know what's going on here. And that is when you hear another horrible sound. You remember when y'all heard the sound of a fireball hitting the ground? This is not that sound. This is the sound of something huge plowing through wood. So imagine like a battering ram that is so big that it just doesn't stop. It doesn't ram, it just moves through. You are hearing the sound of just as something giant is smashing through wood. What would y'all like to do?
Wood as in like something's like barreling through a forest kind of thing, or knocking down a building?
More like closer to a building, but somehow different than a building.
Okay.
Not a forest.
Okay.
That's its own sound of cracking and breaking.
I'll peek out the window that we have the chicken hut. See what I can see.
Well, you can't see a whole lot because it's raining super hard, but between lightning flashes, you catch a glimpse off in the distance of the good ship Piss Whistle.
Oh no.
And not the good ship Piss Whistle, but right next to it, another ship is crashing into the docks. And you catch just the tiniest flash of it as the lightning flashes, and then it's gone. But something is just crashing into the docks next to the good ship Piss Whistle.
No rest for the weary, Penton. Can you direct the hut over back to our ship?
All right, Audrey, let's go.
And instantly the hut gets up, and you sense that there's this slight, just little moment. You're too busy right now, too many different things, but there's a slight something up with the hut that's just a little different right now, but you're not sure what it is.
Okay.
As you're heading that way, the Witch of the Lowlands turns to you again, Pinton, and she goes, "So, when this hag grabbed the staff, did she, did she explode or get horribly distorted or something horrible happen to her? Anything like that?"
No. She was just busy trying, like I said, to kill and revive a kraken to be undead and under her control or something like that. But no, it didn't seem like it did anything to her other than, keep her busy while we took her out.
Well, that's taking out a hag is no small thing. Even I would struggle with such a feat.
It was not easy.
And Skull, by the way, is more or less recovered now. She's battered and she probably has a mild concussion. But she's kind of coming to, and she's just like, "You live a very weird life, sir.
You don't know the half of it. You don't know the half of
seem to
it."
be a magnet for interesting events.
And she turns and kind of narrows her eyes, but she's not looking at you, but you can tell she's looking at you, Tix. And she says, I don't believe we've met before, good Sir Gnome. May I have the pleasure of your acquaintance?
I am Tix Birchmanson, servant of the kingdom, cleric.
He's with us.
Well, very, very pleased to meet your acquaintance. Your friend has very interesting companions, so I'm sure you are much the same.
We try.
And being a giant chicken hut, it doesn't take long for it to make its way back to the docks. What would y'all like to do?
So we're getting up to the docks. So a ship is smashing into the docks. I mean, it's not like in some unearthly way, kind of like moving up land or anything like that. It's just, just out of control and slamming into the docks.
Yes, that is exactly what's happening. It's already finished its course now by the time you've gotten there. But essentially, it was moving at the speed of closer to, say, like a modern boat. It was moving at much more speed than a sailing vessel should be able to. And it just came crashing into the docks, and just until it finally got to the more landish area, to the beachfront that's built over the docks. And it finally has kind of moved at like a maybe 20-degree angle to the docks.
Okay. Any kind of markings on the ship, like flags or...
Give me a perception check.
Alrighty, doodly-doo.
Please do. 16?
And 16 for me.
Gotcha. Well, I'll say because of the 19 that Tix, you recognize it first because you were the first one to actually walk on board. This is the pirate ship that y'all left at sea.
Uh-oh.
Huh. It found its way here.
Apparently.
Can mimics drive?
Not as far as you're aware. You both have a passing knowledge of... Now, this was not a normal mimic by any means, shape, or form. But a mimic is typically, while it does have a base intelligence, is not super intelligent. And certainly would not be driving a ship unless it possessed abilities that were not obvious from the last time.
I am out of spells, but I still have an axe.
And now I can't help but picture a chest with a tongue sticking out and holding the wheel of a ship. Trying to sing sea shanties.
Yes. Disney is still going to sue me for that, by the way.
Oh, good.
And as y'all approach closer, you suddenly there's a small flash of light. It's not coming from the ship, by the way. Just so you know. You actually see someone holding up their hand and gesturing at y'all to stop as you come forward. You do not recognize this person. It is a man finely dressed, but that intricate line of he's finely dressed, but he is still dressed for action. So he's wearing like chainmail, but the kind that's meant to go like easily under a classy tunic. He has a gloved fist, and his other hand is extended outward to stop y'all.
Okay. Is it a stop, don't come closer or I'll attack you, or is it stop, there's something terrible going on, run away?
It's hard to tell, but probably closer to the last one.
Okay. I'll bring the hut to a halt. I'm not stupid.
Boom, 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 boom. And it stops. The man takes a couple of steps towards y'all, and he says, you should turn around. You're all in terrible danger here.
Good sir, what's the goings on?
Well, I am still determining that, but clearly supernatural forces are attacking the city, and so I have been summoned. And with a lightning crack, you see his full regalia, and he's actually flanked by other figures. He gestures behind him and gestures back to y'all, and he says, I am the Grand Duke Curus Vigilfist, and I am the protector of Massgate, and I am here to end this threat to our fair city.
Where were you when the fireball hit?
We were advancing on the fireball. We had been summoned because we had been at court, and we were advancing to the fireball when this happened, and so we turned and headed this way.
Well, no worries. We've taken care of it.
You've taken care of the ship? Because I think rather not.
No, the fireball.
Just the fireball. We took care of that part.
Oh, yes, well. Good job, then.
Yeah.
We have matters well in hand, so it's all no worries here. You can move along.
Our
I'm
ship
curious.
is right there next to this one, so it does not look like you have this situation underhand yet.
I'm curious, sir. How did you come upon a pirate ship?
We did not come upon the pirate ship when we heard the crashing and such. We had already been dispatched to investigate the fire from the sky, and that is when this happened. And seeing that that seemed to be underhand by persons unknown, which I now see to be you, we turned our attentions toward this ship.
I mean, that is a pirate ship, right, Tix?
It looks like it's the same one.
Yeah, and you are quite sure of it. Its flag is still flying. It is tattered, but undeniably that is the same pirate ship.
A little unusual.
You haven't tried opening a chest, have you? Because that might not be a good idea.
We have not yet gone on board, but I assure you, the Grand Duke Chorus Vigilfist and his cohorts will be more than a match for whatever is on board.
Well, good luck with that, sir. Good luck with that.
Watch out for mimics, sea hags, walking sharks, and exploding spiders.
Not necessarily in that order.
He's not really sure if you're joking or not. He's not really sure if you're joking or not. At that point, you actually, of all things, of all craziness, you actually see Raro, the gentleman that Tix you rescued from a horrible tree fate. He comes running up and he goes, "Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you guys. I was trying to tell you that I had found out new information about the Witch of the Lowlands, remember?" You see the witch, poke her head out of... She's still in the chicken hut, and she pokes her head out, and he's like,
You mean that lady?
Well, my information is a little outdated, apparently.
Yeah, so's mine.
What was your information?
Well, I was gonna tell you that I had heard that she had abandoned her place of residence, that she had abandoned the Lowlands. I didn't want y'all to head all the way down there, which, by the way, it is quite a journey down to the Lowlands. Imagine traveling what would be for us from New York to Florida. It was quite a journey. And he says, but I heard that she had left, and that she was taken up, in the plains, about 200-300 miles from here.
Plains, mountains, they're practically the same thing.
Comets,
anyway, she's here now.
Asteroids, chicken huts.
Okay then.
But I appreciate the effort.
He goes, okay. Is that the pirate ship I was prisoner on?
It sure is.
It does seem to be that way.
Okay, well, I'll see you guys later. And he turns and he just kind of fast walks away as fast as he can. That's when you hear a sound. You hear a sound coming from the ship. And the sound is a low singing. Come all ye young ones who follow the sea, sing way, blow the man down. And the door to the captain's cabin just it's open.
I think I've seen this Disney movie.
And there's a slight limping. And out of it walks Punchy McBeardface. Punchy McBeardface, who y'all left on the pirate ship, locked in the brig.
Oh, yeah.
And never to be seen again. And he comes walking out. One would hope. And he comes walking out and looks at both of y'all and says, well, it must be my birthday. And his face starts to change. And that's where we'll end! Chafing Armor, episode 50.
I'm curious. I'm very curious.
Well, I am very curious to see what y'all make of what's about to come. Well, that is also true. Y'all are currently out of spells and use them. But, if you hadn't used them, you would have died.
True
and
that.
So would the Witch of the Lowland. But I'm going to end it here a little early. One, because we went a little long on the last one. And also because I'd kind of like to get Osokai and Morezian for the next bit of fun.
Good plan.
So we'll go ahead and bring it to a stop there at a cool point. Thank you, James and Dare, for joining me tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dungeon Master.
Pleasure as always.
We'll see. And from the Grand Duke Glorious Vigilfist, I bid you all good evening.
Good night,
all right,
everybody.
Thanks, guys. Good night.